A coin is a small, flat, round piece of hard material such as metal or plastic used primarily as a medium of exchange, illegal tender. They are standardized in weight and produced in large quantities at a mint in order to facilitate trade. They are most often issued by a government. Coins are usually metal or alloy, or sometimes made of synthetic materials. They are usually disc-shaped. Coins made of valuable metal are stored in large quantities as bullion coins. Other coins are used as money in everyday transactions, circulating alongside banknotes. Usually the highest value coin in circulation is worth less than the lowest value note. In the last 100 years, the face value of circulation coins has occasionally been lower than the value of the metal they contain. For example, due to inflation. If the difference becomes significant, the issuing authority may decide to withdraw these coins from circulation, possibly issuing new equivalents with a different composition, or the public may decide to melt the coins down or hoard them. Exceptions to the rule of face value being higher than content value also occur for some bullion coins made of copper, silver, or gold, intended for collectors or investors in precious metals. Examples of modern gold collector investor coins include the British sovereign minted by the United Kingdom, the American gold eagle minted by the United States, the Canadian gold maple leaf minted by Canada, and the Krugerrand minted by South Africa. While the eagle, maple leaf, and sovereign coins have nominal face values, the Krugerrand does not. Historically, a great quantity of coinage metals and other materials have been used to produce coins for circulation, collection, and metal investment. Bullion coins often serve as more convenient stores of assured metal quantity and purity than other bullion. History. The first coins were developed independently in Iron Age Anatolia and Archaic Greece, India and China around the 7th and 6th centuries BCE. Coins spread rapidly in the 6th and 5th centuries BCE, throughout Greece and Persia, and further to the Balkans. Standardized Roman currency was used throughout the Roman Empire. Important Roman gold and silver coins were continued into the Middle Ages. Ancient and early medieval coins in theory had the value of the metal content, although there have been many instances throughout history of the metal content of coins being debased, so that the inferior coins were worth less in metal than the face value. Fiat money first arose in medieval China, with the Jiaozi paper money. Early paper money was introduced in Europe in the later Middle Ages, but some coins continued to have the value of the gold or silver they contained throughout the early modern period. The penny was minted as a silver coin until the 17th century. The first copper pennies were minted in the United States in the 1790s. Silver content was reduced in many coins in the 19th century, and the first coins made entirely of base metal, representing values higher than the value of the metal, were minted in the mid-19th century. Coins were an evolution of currency systems of the late Bronze Age, where standard-sized ingots and tokens such as knife money were used to store and transfer value. In the late Chinese Bronze Age, standardized cast tokens were made, such as those discovered in a tomb near Anyang. These were replicas in bronze of earlier Chinese currency, cowrie shells, so they were named bronze shell. Iron Age. According to Aristotle and Pollux, the first issuer of coins was Hermodike of Kyme. The earliest coins are mostly associated with Iron Age Anatolia, especially with the Kingdom of Lydia. Early electrum coins were not standardized in weight, and in their earliest stage may have been ritual objects. objects, such as badges or medals, issued by priests. Many early Lydian and Greek coins were minted under the authority of private individuals and thus more akin to tokens or badges than to modern coins, though due to the numbers it is evident that some were official state issues, with King Alyattes of Lydia being a frequently mentioned originator of coinage. The first Lydian coins were made of electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of silver and gold that was further alloyed with added silver and copper. Most of the early Lydian coins include no writing, only an image of a symbolic animal. Therefore, the dating of these coins relies primarily on archaeological evidence, with the most commonly cited evidence coming from excavations at the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, also called the Ephesian Artemision, because the oldest lion head coins were discovered in the temple, and they do not appear to have been used in commerce. These objects may not have been coins but badges or medals issued by the priests of the temple. Anatolian Artemis was the pi tau nu iota alpha theta eta rho nu, whose symbol was the stag. A small percentage of early Lydian Greek coins have a legend. A famous early electrum coin, the most ancient inscribed coin at present known, is from nearby Caria. This coin has a Greek legend reading Phanos emi Samar, interpreted variously as I am the badge of fans, or I am the sign of light, or I am the tomb of light, or I am the tomb of fans. The coins of fans are known to be amongst the earliest of Greek coins. A hemihecte of the issue was found in the foundation deposit of the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. One assumption is that Phans was a wealthy merchant, another that this coin is associated with Apollo Phans and, due to the deer, with Artemis. Although only 7 Phans-type coins were discovered, it is also notable that 20% of all early electrum coins also have the lion of Artemis and the sunburst of Apollo Phanios. Alternatively, Phans may have been the Halicarnassian mercenary of Amasis mentioned by Herodotus, who escaped to the court of Cambyses, and became his guide in the invasion of Egypt in 527–525 BCE. According to Herodotus, this Phans was buried alive by a sandstorm, together with 50,000 Persian soldiers, while trying to conquer the temple of Amen-Zeus in Egypt. The fact that the Greek word Phans also means light, and the word Sema also means two, makes this coin a famous and controversial one. Another candidate for the site of the earliest coins is Aegina, where Chelone coins were first minted on 700 BCE, either by the local Aegina people or by Phidon, king of Argos. In the Bibliothèque Nationale, Paris, there is a unique electrum stata of Aegina. Coins from Athens and Corinth appeared shortly thereafter, known to exist at least since the late 6th century BCE. Classical antiquity coinage followed Greek colonization and influence first around the Mediterranean and soon after to North Africa, Syria, Persia, and the Balkans. Coins were minted in the Achaemenid Empire, including the gold darics and silver sigloi. With the Ashmonid conquest of Gandhara under Darius the Great c. 520 BCE, the practice spread to the Indo-Gangetic plain. The coins of this period were called Puranas, Karshipanas or Panna. These earliest Indian coins, however, are unlike those circulated in Persia, which were derived from the Greek Anatolian type. They not disc-shaped but rather stamped bars of metal, suggesting that the innovation of stamp currency was added to a pre-existing form of token currency which had already been present in the Mahajanipada kingdoms of the Indian Iron Age. Mahajanipadas that minted their own coins included Gandhara, Kuntala, Kuru, Panchala, Shakya, Surasena and Saurashtra. In China, early round coins appeared in the 4th century BCE. The first Roman coins, which were crude, heavy cast bronzes, were issued c. to 89 BCE. Middle Ages. The first European coin to use Arabic numerals to date the year in which the coin was minted was the St. Gall silver placket of 1424. Value currency. Most coins presently are made of a base metal, and the value comes from the status as fiat money. This means that the value of the coin is decreed by government fiat, and thus is determined by the free market only inasmuch as national currencies are used in domestic trade and also traded internationally on foreign exchange markets. Thus, these coins are monetary tokens, just as paper currency is. They are usually not backed by a metal, but rather by some form of government guarantee. Some have suggested that such coins not be considered to be true coins. Thus, there is very little economic difference between notes and coins of equivalent face value. Coins may be in circulation with fiat values lower than the value of the component metals, but they are never initially issued with such value, and the shortfall only arises over time due to inflation as market values for the metal overtake the fiat declared face value of the coin. Examples of the pre-1965 US dime, quarter, half dollar, and dollar US nickel, and pre-1982 US penny. As a result of the increase in the value of copper, the United States greatly reduced the amount of copper in each penny. Since mid-1982, United States pennies are made of 97.5% zinc, with the remaining 2.5% being a coating of copper. Extreme differences between fiat values and metal values of coins causes coins to be hoarded or removed from circulation by illicit smelters in order to realize the value of the metal content. This is an example of Gresham's law. The United States Mint, in an attempt to avoid this, implemented new interim rules on December 14, 2006, subject to public comment for 30 days, which criminalized the melting and export of pennies and nickels. Violators can be fined up to $10,000 and/or imprisoned for up to 5 years. Collector's item. A coin's value as a collector's item or as an investment generally depends on its condition, specific historical significance, rarity, quality, beauty of the design, and general popularity with collectors. If a coin is greatly lacking in all of these, it is unlikely to be worth much. The value of bullion coins is also influenced to some extent by those factors, but is largely based on the value of the gold, silver, or platinum content. Sometimes non-monetized bullion coins such as the Canadian maple leaf and the American gold eagle are minted with nominal face values less than the value of the metal in them. But as such coins are never intended for circulation, these face values have no relevance. Medium of expression. Coins can be used as creative medium of expression, from fine art sculpture to the penny machines that can be found in most amusement parks. In the Code of Federal Regulations in the United States, there are some regulations specific to nickels and pennies that are informative on this topic. 31 CFR Section 82.1 forbids unauthorized persons from exporting, melting, or treating any 5 or 1 cent coins. This has been a particular problem with nickels and dimes because of the relatively low face value and unstable commodity prices. For a while the copper in US pennies was worth more than 1 cent, so people would hoard pennies and then melt them down for the metal value. It cost more than face value to manufacture pennies or nickels, so any widespread loss of the coins in circulation could be expensive for the US Treasury. This was more of a problem when coins were still made of precious metals like silver and gold, so strict laws against alteration make more sense historically. 31 CFR Section 82.2 goes on to state that The prohibition contained in Section 82.1 against the treatment of 5-cent coins and 1-cent coins shall not apply to the treatment of these coins for educational, amusement, novelty, jewelry, and similar purposes as long as the volumes treated and the nature of the treatment makes it clear that such treatment is not intended as a means by which to profit solely from the value of the metal content of the coins. Debasement. Throughout history, monarchs and governments have often created more coinage than the supply of precious metals would allow if the coins were pure metal. By replacing some fraction of a coin's precious metal content with a base metal, the intrinsic value of each individual coin was reduced, allowing the coining authority to produce more coins than would otherwise be possible. Debasement occasionally occurs in order to make the coin physically harder and therefore less likely to be worn down as quickly, but the more usual reason is to profit from the difference between face value and metal value. Debasement of money almost always leads to price inflation. Sometimes price controls are at the same time also instituted by the governing authority, but historically these have generally proved unworkable. The United States is unusual in that it has only slightly modified its coinage system to accommodate 2 centuries of inflation. The 1-cent coin has changed little since 1856 and still remains in circulation, despite a greatly reduced purchasing power. On the other end of the spectrum, the largest coin in common circulation is valued at 25 cents, a very low value for the largest denomination coin compared to many other countries. Increases in the prices of copper, nickel, and zinc meant that both the US 1 and 5-cent coins became worth more for the raw metal content than the face value. In particular, copper 1-cent pieces contained about 2 cents worth of copper. Some denominations of circulating coins that were formerly minted in the United States are no longer made. These include coins with a face value of a half-cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, and 20 cents. In the past, the U.S. also coined the following denominations for circulation in gold: $1, $2.50, $3, $5, $10, and $20. In addition, cents were originally slightly larger than the modern quarter and weighed nearly half an ounce, while 5-cent coins were smaller than a dime and made of a silver alloy. Dollar coins were also much larger and weighed approximately an ounce. $1 gold coins are no longer produced and rarely used. The U.S. also issues bullion and commemorative coins with the following denominations: $50, $1, $5, $10, $25, $50, and $100. Other uses. Some convicted criminals from the British Isles who were sentenced to transportation to Australia in the 18th and 19th centuries used coins to leave messages of remembrance to loved ones left behind in Britain. The coins were defaced, smoothed and inscribed, either by stippling or engraving, with sometimes touching words of loss. These coins were called convict love tokens, or leaden hearts. A number of these tokens are in the collection of the National Museum of Australia. Features of modern coins. Circulating coins commonly suffered from shaving or clipping. The public would cut off small amounts of precious metal from their edges to sell it and then pass on the mutilated coins at full value. Unmilled British sterling silver coins were sometimes reduced to almost half the minted weight. This form of debasement in Tudor England was commented on by Sir Thomas Gresham, whose name was was later attached to Gresham's law. The monarch would have to periodically recall circulating coins, paying only the bullion value of the silver, and reminting them. This, also known as recoinage, is a long and difficult process that was done only occasionally. Many coins have mildewed edges, originally designed to make it easier to detect clipping. The side of a coin carrying an image of a monarch or other authority, or a national emblem, is usually called the obverse, or colloquially, heads. See also list of people on coins. The other side, which may carry the denomination, is usually called the reverse, or colloquially, tails. The year of minting is usually shown on the obverse, although some Chinese coins, most Canadian coins, the pre-2008 British 20p coin, and all Japanese coins, are exceptions. In cases where a correctly oriented coin is flipped about its horizontal axis to show the other side correctly oriented, the coin is said to have coin orientation. In cases where a coin is flipped about its vertical axis to show the other side correctly oriented, it is said to have medallic orientation. While coins of the United States dollar display coin orientation, those of the euro and pound sterling have medallic orientation. Bimetallic coins are sometimes used for higher values and for commemorative purposes. In the 1990s, France used a trimetallic coin. Common circulating bimetallic examples include the €1, €2, British £2 and Canadian $2, and several peso coins in Mexico. The exag is the space on a coin beneath the main design, often used to show the coin's date, although it is sometimes left blank containing a mint mark, privy mark, or some other decorative or informative design feature. Many coins do not have an exag at all, especially those with few or no legends, such as the Victorian bun penny. Not all coins are round. The Australian 50-cent coin, for example, has 12 flat sides. Some coins have wavy edges, e.g., the $2 and 20-cent coins of Hong Kong and the 10-cent coins of Bahamas. Some are square-shaped, such as the 15-cent coin of the Bahamas. During the 1970s, Swazi coins were minted in several shapes, including squares, polygons, and wavy-edged circles with 8 and 12 waves. Some other coins, like the British 20 and 50 pence coins and the Canadian loonie, have an odd number of sides with the edges rounded off. This way the coin has a constant diameter, recognizable by vending machines whichever direction it is inserted. A triangular coin with a face value of £5 was commissioned by the Isle of Man. It became legal tender on the 6th of December 2007. Other triangular coins issued earlier include Cabinda coin, Bermuda coin, $2, Cook Islands 1992 triangular coin, Uganda Millennium coin, and Polish sterling silver 10 Swati coin. Guitar-shaped and motorcycle-shaped coins were once issued in Somalia. Poland once issued a fan-shaped 10 Swati coin, and the 2002 $10 coin from Nauru was Europe-shaped. Some medieval coins, called bracteates, were so thin they were struck on only one side. Many coins over the years have been manufactured with integrated holes, such as Chinese cash coins, Japanese coins, colonial French coins, etc. The Royal Canadian Mint is now able to produce holographic effect gold and silver coinage. However, this procedure is not limited to only bullion or commemorative coinage. The 500 yen coin from Japan was subject to a massive amount of counterfeiting. The Japanese government in response produced a circulatory coin with a holographic image. The Royal Canadian Mint has also released several coins that are colored. the first of which was in commemoration of Remembrance Day. The subject was a colored poppy on the reverse of a 25-cent piece. An example of non-metallic composite coins was introduced into circulation in Transnistria on the 22nd of August 2014. Most of these coins are also non-circular, with different shapes corresponding to different coin values. For a list of many pure metallic elements and their alloys which have been used in actual circulation coins and for trial experiments, see coinage metals. Physics. Flipping coins are popularly used as a sort of two-sided dice, in order to choose between two options with a random possibility. One choice will be labeled heads and the other tails, and a coin will be flipped or tossed to see whether the heads or tails side comes up on top. See coin flipping. Mathematically, this is known as a Bernoulli trial. A fair coin is defined to have the probability of heads of exactly 0.5. Spinning coins can also be spun on a flat surface such as a table. This results in the following phenomenon. As the coin falls over and rolls on its edge, it spins faster and faster before coming to an abrupt stop. This is mathematically modeled as a finite time singularity. The precession rate is accelerating to infinity before it suddenly stops, and has been studied using high-speed photography and devices such as Euler's disk. The slowing down is predominantly caused by rolling friction, and the singularity can be modeled as a power law with exponent approximately -1/3. Chemistry. Iron and copper coins have a characteristic metallic smell that is produced upon contact with oils in the skin. Perspiration is chemically reduced upon contact with these metals, which causes the skin oils to decompose, forming with iron the volatile molecule 1-OCTEN21. Bibliography. Angus, Ian. Coins and Amp Money Tokens. London, Wardlock, 1973. ISBN 0706318110.